Shalom, 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 shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Kamalak Yahweh Shai. This is Brother Zamran, Watchman for Israel, Seattle, coming live right now with another lesson to edify our people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You guys are the children of the Israelites, man, right? You guys are God's chosen people. And you should know that by now, man, right? With everything that's been going on, with all the edification that's been going out in the highways and hedges, which is why I also want to say shalom to the brothers who are doing the work in season and out of season, week in and week out, in hopes of waking up the hopeful elect. I want to say shalom to you brothers, man. I want to say shalom to all the mighty sisters in this thing, man, the aquat out there, man, right, who are married or who may not be married, right? But you're operating in the spirit of our mighty, righteous, virtuous foremothers, man, doing the best that you possibly can do to prepare your souls, to prepare your spirits in hopes of being delivered up out of this wicked land. I want to say shalom to you, sisters. Also want to say shalom to the brothers who may not be on the highways and hedges as of yet, but you're doing everything that you got to do in these last days, right? You studying, you reading, you fasting, you praying, you're congregating yourself around other brothers, other believers in this thing, right, who are of your own stock of Israel. I want to say shalom to you brothers, man. So you guys see the title. Hey, God hates Halloween. And we're going to expose the true origins of this, man. And why do we have to do this? Because a lot of us growing up in damn Christianity church, bro, around this time, they like to sit there and celebrate this type of stuff. And we were little not even understanding what this was all about. A lot of us grew up, right, around Christianity thinking that this was just something that the Most High loves, that it was just something innocent. Oh, just taking little children, and go trick-or-treating. Oh, make sure you come back with it. Man, I remember growing up and, me and my little sister used to literally sit there at the end of the night and compare who had the most damn candy, man. And whoever had the most candy had the most successful night. Hey, but we living in these last days. We living in the last days when the Most High is waking us up, right, in the land of the captivity that we are in, to return to our heritage and expose these lies, to expose, the wicked, man. And that's what we're going to do through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Mashiach Kamalak Yahweh Shai. I also want to say shalom to those who's on the chat, man, right? Salah Judah, right? Love Pius, Makala, Yasharallah, man, Tribe of Levi. Ancients knew, why don't we? Shalom, and everybody else who's going to be chiming in. It was all in the chat right now. So again, God hates Halloween. We're going to expose the true origins of this wicked day. Let's get the book of Jeremiah. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to Romans, right? Let's get the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. This is Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So everything was written for our learning. This is why that we get into the accounts of our heritage and our nationality, man, our true history book, our true bibliography, because anything that you're seeing wicked in this world, if you want to learn about it, all you got to do is go into the scriptures, right? Why hasn't Christianity told us, man, that Halloween is actually in the scriptures as far as being a wicked day, as far as the Most High actually hating it? And we're going to expose that, man, because these things were written for our learning, right? Let's get the book of Proverbs, man, the classic, real quick. Chapter 3, and I think I'm on verse 31, right? We're going to go to Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31, because what was written for our learning? This is one of them. This is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. You see that? And that's the problem with a lot of our people, man. They still want to choose the ways of their oppressors. Esau, the so-called white man, all these other wicked nations who are not so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because a lot of our people, they come into the truth. They understand that we're completely supposed to separate ourselves not only from our enemies, but even from the ways of our enemies, like the Lord says. Because and they can't do it because they too busy envying their oppressor. They envying, right, looking at their oppressors, walking up and down in your streets, on damn Halloween night, knocking at everybody else's door, dressed up, man, right, in these nasty, stinking costumes, asking for candy, and they feel like they missing out, man. right? They feel like they missing out. These are things that we got to understand. The Lord said, do not even envy our oppressor. Don't choose none of his ways. Because if you think putting on a nasty mask, right, walking around with, and a lot of us Jakes and Eves, man, you know what I'm saying, couldn't even damn afford a legit ass, you know what I'm saying, excuse my language, couldn't even afford a legit damn, you know what I'm saying, trick-or-treat bag. A lot of us was walking around with damn Safeway bags, man. Walmart bags, Dollar Tree bags, right, that's sitting under your nasty sink, right? Pillowcases, things of that nature, trying to compete with Esau because you envy the oppressor, man. The Lord said, choose none of his ways. So that's not only including Halloween, but that's including all these man-made holidays, man, because we have our own holy days that we have to keep. Thus said the Lord, man, right? These are things we got to realize because this stuff was written for our learning. Let's go to the classic real quick, and I'm going to get into this, man, right? Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10. Let's start at verse 2. And Lord, and I got some clips, of course, I'm going to show some visual stuff that I'm going to show because we're going to make this thing plain, right? Hey, after this, Lord willing, after this, you should understand that the Most High hates Halloween, man. Let's go to the classic, Jeremiah chapter 10. Let's start at verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Hey, when we sat there and used to worship, you know what I'm saying, and celebrate damn Halloween, this is not part of our heritage. Where is it in the heritage of the Israelites do you see the Most High giving us Halloween, telling us to dress up, man, right, to put on makeup, right? You got a lot of, you know what I'm saying, men that will sit there and put on makeup, man, right, like a damn female just to go out there and look like a witch, to look like the nasty, wicked witch from the West, talking about, oh, this is my green makeup. You know what I'm saying? When are we supposed to be doing this, right? The Lord said, learn not the way of the heathen. They're dismayed by the signs of heaven, which is why they sit there and force, you know what I'm saying, talking about, oh, you're a Libra, oh, you a Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of Eves talking about, I'm a Scorpio. You know what season that is. And all this stuff comes from the heathen, man, right? Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain. So the Lord said that the customs of the heathen are vain. A lot of these customs is also dealing with Halloween, right? And as you continue to read, we're going to read, it gives you a perfect example of a certain custom that's actually dealing with a man-made day, right? Let's find out which one of these customs are. One of the biggest customs, man, here in Dan, Babylon the Great, and on all four corners of the earth that all these nations have got from the so-called white man. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails, with hammers, that it move not. Because that's the custom that's dealing with damn Christmas, man. Right? And that's what Esau has put on our people, just like he's put Halloween, man. Right? And this is in the Bible. Because all these things were written for our learning, like Paul was trying to instruct the children of Israel, man. And that's exactly what they do. They sit there and they go to the damn forest. They get that nasty axe that's been in the family, you know what I'm saying, for generations and generations, you know what I'm saying? And then they tell the little grandson to go on ahead and cut that thing. Then they get the tree, put it on a nasty Jeep, tied up with that nasty rope, drive back to their plantation house, bro. Then sit there and fasten it with nails so it don't move, just to decorate it with damn, you know what I'm saying, ornaments, man. And Christmas lights, quote unquote, man. So this is an example of a custom, right, that the Lord has given us an example to not follow. And it didn't say for the custom of the people. It said for the customs, plural. They have many customs. And one of these customs that we're going into today is Halloween. Thus saith the Lord. So let's deal with it, man. Right? What is the definition of Halloween? Right? Halloween pretty much is regarded as the witches' Shabbat. Right? Let's pull this up. Let me share my screen. Right? The witches' Shabbat. Here we have a Shabbat, which is an holy day that's separate, right? That's sacred for us to rest on Friday sundown and Saturday sundown. But guess what, man? Right? The evil spirits on the left-hand side also have a Shabbat. And coming up October 31st, right, they observe it as the witches' Shabbat, which is why they started at sundown, right? So let's share my screen. Let's see what the witches' Shabbat is dealing with, man, right? Bear with me. right? Let's pull this up. The witches' Shabbat, right? Let's see what it gives us. Right? And as you see here, this is the witches' Shabbat. And you see things like Satanism, witchcraft, right? A witches' Shabbat is a purported gathering of those believed to practice witchcraft and other rituals. The phrase became popular in the 20th century, right? So pretty much Halloween is regarded as the witches' Shabbat, right? Which goes back to Samhain, right? Which is actually spelled Samhain, but it's pronounced Samhain, right? It's a pagan origin of Halloween that includes rituals, right? Which we're going to get into, like human sacrifices, right? Damn pumpkins filled with burning human fat, right? And then they put little candles in it, right? And all this stuff was started by the ancient Druids, which goes back to the ancient Celts or Celts, however you want to call it. So this is generally, like it says, the 20th century. So we're talking about literally around 100 BC, right, to 250 AD, right? These are things we got to realize, man, right? And at this time, right, this great Druid influence, right, goes back to the belief of the Groves belief system, right? And these Druids, they identified themselves as Christians. Let's look at this, man. Let me zoom in. Let's zoom in on this a little bit. Bear with me, right? Let's look at some images. And as you're looking at some of these images, what you see is here you got all the way to the left, right? You got that damn, you know what I'm saying, that damn goat spirit, man, right? With the horns that really represents the Baphomet. And then what do you see? Do you see Israelites or do you see Edomites? I see Edomites that are gathered around this goat worshiping, trying to summon up wicked spirits, right? You kind of got bats in the air, right? As you see, right? Then in the middle, right? You kind of got the sun that's kind of rising, which is getting ready, you know what I'm saying, which is rising right above in between the horns as they're worshiping. And they're worshiping Satan, which really goes back to Balaam, right? Which you'll see in the scriptures. These are things that we have to realize, man. This is why we can't sit there and follow the ways of the heathen, right? Here you got all these parents, man, right, who are telling their children, always just for the children. Oh, stop being over righteous. It's just for the children. No, man. You're actually forcing your children to take part into pagan Satanism type worship, a Satanist type ritual, man. And this is why the Most High cannot stand, right, days that are created by man, right, which he calls holidays, right? Let's go to the classic, man. Let's get the book of Amos, right? Chapter 5, verse 21, right? And there's a certain reason to everything because the Lord said that this stuff was written for our learning. So this is Amos chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. And these feast days are not talking about the feast days of the Lord. These are talking about feast days of the wicked, because a lot of our people envied the oppressor and wanted to make a covenant with them and started partaking into their rituals and their heritage, which the Lord instructed us not to do. And it went all the way back to the Egyptian days, from the Egyptians, right, to the Assyrians, to the Medo-Persians, to the Greeks, to the Babylonians, right, to the Romans, even today, which we are living in modern day Rome, right? Let's get the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1. Right, let's start at verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 130th and 7th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. So here you have a wicked king, Antiochus, right, which came about after Alexander the Freak, right? All praise in the Most High, right? Who died from damn syphilis or some type of AIDS and sexually transmitted disease because he was a sodomite, man, popping little boys and other men, right? And let's see what happened as far as dealing with our people, the Israelites, in the days of Antiochus, right? While we were under Greek captivity. Verse 11, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men, right? So you had a lot of wicked Israelites in these days, just like we have a lot of wicked Israelites right now, which is why that we have to check ourselves every day, which is why that we can't follow the ways of the heathen, because they try to glamorize it and make it seem like everything is all innocent and everything is all good and dandy, right? That's the problem with a lot of our people. Hey, even dealing with that nasty Jabberoo, right? A lot of y'all don't even read. You don't even look into what's actually into these type of things as far as dealing with the Jabberoo. And when you read into this stuff, you'll see that it literally has Edomite feces in there, man. Or Edomite baby, you know what I'm saying, like embryo type, you know what I'm saying, cells, right? The kind of, you know, and who are they pushing this on, right? Us as Israelites, so that we can kind of get that altering Edomite mindset, man, and step away from our heritage and nationality, right? So in those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, and we still got a lot of wicked Israelites that are still persuading our people to celebrate this nasty day, man. What were they saying back then? Let us, the Israelites, go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. And that's what happens when you depart from the heathen, which is why the Lord said that, look, don't envy them, right? Because when you don't follow the ways of the heathen, it's set up that you're going to end up having sorrow living here in this hellhole. This is why this is called hell. There's no place under the ground. This is hell you living on, man, right? And now Kanye's kind of getting a little small taste of it, man, because you have to, once you separate yourself from them, then you're going to go through sorrows. And us as Israelites, we go through many sorrows. So we have to continue to separate ourselves from the wicked Greeks and these wicked Romans, man, and these wicked Edomites who say that it's okay to worship Halloween, to celebrate Halloween. Let's continue to see what they got on here, man. Look at this right here, right? Y'all see this image right here? All right, let me zoom in a little bit, right? Where it says ancient witches, right? I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit more. This is one of the major rituals that they did on the witch Shabbat, Samhain, right? Which was influenced by the ancient Druids. Here you have ancient witches, but you see this statue right here? This statue was actually made of sticks, right? And inside of this, they will put humans in there, right? A lot of humans who were like sick, a lot of humans, you know what I'm saying, who were kind of handicapped and, you know, weren't really able-bodied. And also those, you know what I'm saying, who were able-bodied, depending on how they felt. And every single year around this time, they will stuff them in these type of statues, which is nothing but a graven image that the Lord told us not to do. They will circle around this type of statue and burn these humans alive in there as sacrifices offered up to these wicked demons on the left-hand side, trying to stir up spirits on the left-hand side. Because just as much as the Most High and his angels are real, also his damn spirits, you know what I'm saying, his angels on the left-hand side, these wicked demons, they're real too, right? Which is why you've seen movies like The Conjuring, right? You've seen all types of examples dealing with this, man, right? These are things that we have to realize, man. Thus said the Lord, man, right? So this was really a heavy influence time, dealing around 100 BC all the way to 250 AD, right? Which really goes back to three major Edomite cultures with Ireland, Germany, and Scotland. I mean, in Iceland, Salakia. So you have Ireland, Germany, and Iceland, where this really took place. This is why, like the brother said, man, right? We have to pray, we have to read, we have to fast, repent, and do it on repeat, right? These are things that we have to realize, man, in these last days, man, especially during this wicked time. Because right now we're transitioning into that dead period, right? Where Esau would say we're getting ready to enter into the new year. Well, the new year has already been here, man, right? These are things we got to realize, man, right? So this is giving you the example. Let me share my screen again, right? Let me show you another example, right? We're going to get more into this, and then we're going to bring out some more scriptures, and I'm going to show you some clips, right? Let's get more into this thing, man, right? Bear with me, man. Bear with me. Let's deal with these ancient druids, man, right? I'm sharing my screen. Let me back up a little bit. Just back up just a tad bit. And hopefully brothers can see this, right? This is So Win. It does look like it's pronounced Sam Han or Sam Han, but it's So Win, right? And as you see, So Win, a night celebrating death and hell. Hey, we living on hell. So why would you want to sit there and celebrate the conditions of our people where we've been raped, robbed, and murdered, man? Right? Why would you want to celebrate the conditions of our people having to be subjected to serving these damn enemies, man? Right? So Win is a night celebrating death and hell. It was the Druids' most important ritual, right? Because the so-called white man, he loves death, right? So-called white man, he loves the state of hell, right? It's very important to him. It was a terrifying night of human sacrifices, and it was the original Halloween. The Druids believed during Samhain, the mystic veil separating the dead from the living opened, right? So understand that what you're seeing now is not the originality of Halloween, right? Sacrificing humans with rituals and trying to bring up spirits from the dead is the originality dealing with Halloween. And guess what? This stuff has been going on since the beginning of time, man. Since the Egyptian days, right? And we're going to show you through the scriptures, man. These are things that we have to realize, man. Right? Look at this right here. Right? I was telling you about Ireland, right? And as you see, the Druids and Celts in Halloween history, right? This night was called All Hallows Eve. Then eventually it became Halloween, right? The Celts maintained many of their beliefs and traditions involving this holiday and time of year. So this is like the wicked time of the year that we're living in, right? These are things that we have to realize, man. Right? Let's get some more stuff on this, man. All right, let's get some more stuff on this. Matter of fact, let's get some images, right? As I still have my screen shared. Lord willing, y'all can see this, right? Let's get some images on this, right? Look at this. You see that? Right? Look at that. Oh, hold on. Look at this right here. This is that statue I was telling y'all about, man. This is that I'm gonna zoom in on this, right? This is that statue that I was telling you about. And I'm going to keep it 100, man, and keep it 1,000 with you. A lot of the human beings that they put inside this stick statue right here, right, was Israelites, man. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because they have a history, these Edomites have a history of killing us and slaughtering us, man. Right? And then they would literally circle around this thing, man. Right? As you see right here, they would circle around this statue, right? And summon up demons. Right? This is ancient Druids. This is the real origins of Halloween. Where is it where they're going door to door, right? Knocking on the door, talking about trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. I don't care. I don't care. You ain't got no underwear. Where is that at? Right? That's an illusion that Esau put on a lot of our people to try to make it seem innocent, man. When all you're doing is practicing satanic worship, man. You see that right here, man. Right? And this is the problem. This is why we can't envy our oppressors. And we can't choose none of his ways. This is their history. This is their traditions. Right? Where are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Right? Putting on this nasty robe looking like damn Gandalf and Zelda, summoning up evil spirits. You're not going to see that. You only going to see Edomites doing this. Wizardry, enchantments, right? Looking like damn Gandalf, man. Right? From Lord of the Rings. Right? This your ancient druids, man. Right? At its finest, man. You see that? So this is for our example. These things are for us to learn, right? And these are things that we have to understand. It's a powerful precept, right? It's 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 21. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partaker of the Lord's table and the tables of devils, right? You can't be sitting there doing the new moon last night and you got plans on next Monday night, you know what I'm saying, to sit there and damn dress up like Spider-Man, man. Talking about Most High's not dealing with that, bro. And that's being fake, right? And just like, hey, we got to be real in this thing, Israelites, man. Hey, we were made in the image of the Most High God. He real. He not dealing with that fakeness, man, right? Let Christianity be fake. Let these other, you know what I'm saying, nations who are set up to be destroyed be fake, right? These are things we got to realize, man. Thus said the Lord, man, right? So this is giving you some history on this thing, man, right? And this is stuff that we need. Let's get the book of Leviticus, man, right? Chapter 19, the classic, right? Let's get the book of Leviticus. And I'm going to bring up some more pictures, and then we're going to play some video clips, man. You know I'm going to hit y'all with some videos, man, right? Because, you know, us as Israelites, bro, we need visuals. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a visual learner, right? And that's how the Lord made it. This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 31, right? Regard not them that have familiar spirits, right? Neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. And we had a lot of our forefathers like Saul, a lot of these wicked kings of the northern kingdom, dealing in Chronicles and First Kings, right? Who regarded after familiar spirits. And what are familiar spirits? Right? Dealing with the spirits on the left-hand side. Demons, goblins, ghouls, witches, man. Right? And wizards. And that's why you see Disney Channel, they try to do that a lot, man. Right? I remember Disney Channel had a cartoon, right? That was nothing but witchcraft, man. And everybody and their mama, man, took the children to go see this movie. There was no words in this movie. It was the damn movie with Mickey Mouse, man. I think it was called Fantasia, man. Right? Where here you had nasty Mickey Mouse, man. Right? Who had on this wizard hat, and the whole movie was just casting spells. The whole movie was literally worship, you know what I'm saying, to sow in. Right? Honoring the druids. And understand, these spirits are strong that are on the left-hand side, which is why the Lord said, regard not them that have familiar spirits. Right? This is another example of not following the heathen, man. The Lord tells us from the beginning all the way to the end not to follow the ways of the heathen. But yet our people, they're so wrapped up. They're so intrigued. They're so envious of the oppressor and want to choose their ways, man. Right? These are things we got to realize that we got to get out of, man. Right? Because you got to understand that the Most High, hey, he'll kill you. Right? If you want to continue to keep thinking that you can celebrate this wicked Halloween, right? Let's get that real quick. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 20. I want to say it's verse, since I'm already here, verse 6. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits. So if you want to sit there and go towards familiar spirits, you want to sit there and dial, you know what I'm saying, that nasty number on that commercial, right? With Miss Cleo talking about, call me now for your tarot reading, right? You know, damn Jake, and he had them wicked E's like, oh, this is my opportunity to find out, you know what I'm saying, if damn, you know what I'm saying, if damn Terrell was cheating on me. Cleo, I'm calling to see if Terrell, and then nasty Cleo talking about, yes, I got a vision that Terrell is at Wacrisha's house right now. $9.99 for your call, right? And the Lord said you're not supposed to do that because Cleo goes after familiar spirits, man. Tries to, you know what I'm saying, do all this type of witchcraft and things of that nature. And the Lord destroyed Cleo, man, and shut her down, right? So the Lord said, and the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits and after wizards to go a whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul and will cut him off from among his people. Which is why you've heard a lot of stories, right, of children or even adults who want to play with that nasty Ouija board, right? Talking about come over for a sleepover. Come on, Brandon. Can Brandon come over for a sleepover? You know what I'm saying? And then you allow your son Brandon to go over that Edomite's house. You ain't, you know, which is your enemy. And then Brandon come back, you know what I'm saying? He all bugged out. Next thing you know what I'm saying? He see ghosts in the damn house, man. Right? Next thing you know, he's on that damn Haley Joel Osment spirit, man. I see dead people. Right? Because you going after familiar spirits. You sitting around that nasty table summoning up spirits. Right? They show you all types of witchcraft, even in the movie Jumanji. The whole game board of Jumanji is really a Ouija board. Right? You got to kind of put your hand on it. You know what I'm saying? Then the pieces kind of move. Right? Then all hell breaks loose, man. Right? Hey, we've seen examples throughout the entire, you know what I'm saying, just from us living, from the entire history. But if we're not looking with that spiritual eye, we're not going to be able to catch these things. And to be able to have that spiritual eye, that spiritual mindset, you have to stay occupied in the scriptures. Stay occupied in the prophecies, man. Right? Thus said the Lord. Because the Lord said, do not go after these familiar spirits. Do not celebrate this stuff because he's going to kill you. He's going to cut you off in the land of the living, man. Right? Let's go to Exodus 20:22. Right? Because this is all that you're doing. Right? You got people who are like, well, I dressed up, you know what I'm saying? I dressed up little Timmy as Martin Luther King. I ain't dressed him up as a skeleton or as damn Frankenstein, right? So it's kind of innocent, right? You got some people that dress up as damn white Jesus, man, right? And walk around in them nasty sandals, man, right? Them nasty Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Them Jesus 2.0s, man, right? With their crusty feet out. Talking about trick or treat, smell my feet. And then they thinking that's being, you still are literally summoning up spirits on the left-hand side, right? Let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 22. Let's start at verse 18, right? This is Exodus, chapter 22, verse 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, right? You see that? The Most High says you cannot suffer a witch to live. Because here, right, we had our mighty forefathers that would literally kill these witches, man. Straight up demolish them, man. Right? Cut their throat, man. And then you nowadays want to sit there and dress up your daughter as a witch, right? And I got her as the wicked witch of the East, not the wicked witch of the West. So she's pure. No, man. You're not supposed to be suffering wicked spirits to live. You see that? These are things that we got to understand, right? Because that's what you're doing. You suffering a witch to live. When you want to dress up your son, man, as damn Sasquatch or Alf, right? You suffering for wicked spirits to live, man. Right? You're literally opening up passageways for these spirits on the left-hand side, right? to come and take control of you, man. And if that's what you want to do and serve our oppressors, hey, the Most High gonna let that thing go, man. He gonna let you do what you do so that you can feel the wrath, man, of his power, man. Because he's the creator of good and evil, right? Don't get it twisted, man. Remember the Most High, which we brought out earlier, right? In the other message dealing, I believe, with actually that was on a lesson I did dealing with Esau, right? Which is on the WFI Seattle page, right? Let me go there real quick, right? Dealing with Romans, right? Chapter 9, I want to say it's verse like 21 or something, right? This is Romans chapter 9, verse 21. Had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? So we can't follow these vessels that were created for dishonor, which is dealing with these Edomites, man, who has a major heavy influence of witchcraft upon not only this nation, right, and our nation of people, but on all four corners of the earth, because we were made to be that vessel of honor. You're not operating as that vessel of honor if you are partaking in Halloween, right? Because when you want to sit there and follow the vessels of dishonor, understand that the spirits that are going to come about are spirits that the Most High created for the vessels of dishonor. This is Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So when the Lord created these vessels of dishonor, right, he created spirits that are evil to possess these vessels of dishonor, which is why you got this. Let me share my screen, right? Which is why that you have these druids, man, right? Bear with me, right? Let's get some images, man. Like we showed earlier, which is why that you have these druids, right? These ancient Celts, right? That want to look like this. These are vessels of dishonor. You see that? And this really goes back to Balaam, man, right? That's all this goes back to, right? These are things that we have to realize, man. Thus saith the Lord, right? We can't sit there and follow the ways of Esau. You see that? There's a more descriptive on that statue. Best believe there are humans inside of this. You see that? That they are burning, trying to summon up these wicked spirits. Hey, this is Halloween 101, man. Thrown in your face. Right? Where are the apartment buildings or the houses for the children to go knocking door to door, trying to get damn Tootsie Rolls, man? Hey, you got wicked Eves and Jakes, bro. Know they live in the hood that want to follow the heathen so bad, they're going to waste their gas money, right, coming up Monday night to drive to the Edomites' neighborhoods in hopes to get a king-size Snicker bar, man. Why? Just take your butt to the damn grocery store or the corner store and go get one, right? But you want to do it on this night because you envy the oppressor. You choose his ways, right? These are things we got to realize. Look at this right here. Look at this. This is wickedness, man. This is madness at an all-time high, all the way to the left. Somehow in the roots of Halloween. You see that? Look at that. That is madness, bro. Real talk. Look at this. Let's zoom in on this, bro. This is straight madness, fam. This is madness, bro. I can't call it, man. Real talk. Look at the wickedness, man. Of these Edomites. Look at the guy, the history of Halloween. Look at that. Got all these goons and goblins, and it literally looks like what everybody dresses up. You got different types of costumes, right? This all goes back to pagan worship, right? Pagan worship. We're not making this stuff up. I can't make this stuff up, right? So these are things we got to realize, right? These are things that we have to realize, thus saith the Lord. Now I'm going to play a clip, right, to give you more clarification, right, on this damn Halloween, right? Check this out, right? Lord willing, y'all can hear this, right?
Then light candles inside them.
Let me see that.
Then light candles.
Let's see which one I want. I want this right here.
Then light candles inside them. And why do we adorn our homes with coffins and tombstones?
Right.
The truth is, we take great pleasure in scaring ourselves to death.
You see that?
Halloween is about being someone else. It's about getting outside your own skin. And I think we tolerate it because we know it's one night.
Hold on. She said, listen to that. That Edomite said that Halloween is about being somebody else. It's about getting out of your own skin. And I think that everybody loves doing it because it's just one night. You see how they try to throw that at you, bro, to try to make it seem innocent? It's just one night. No, man. Halloween is about being a damn goon and goblin, man. Damn Frankenstein, right? A witch, Satan, right? That's what it's about. Worshiping evil, summoning up wicked spirits upon your vessel that is supposed to be made for honor as an Israelite. Why can't we just allow these Edomites who are vessels of dishonor do what they're gonna do? Right? Let's continue, man. This I get upset just watching this, bro. Real talk.
This impulse to confront our fears of life and of death and make sport of them, it's ancient, and so are our treasured Halloween traditions.
Edomites.
When did Halloween begin?
Right, when did it begin? In the 19th century, man.
Origins go back to the old Celtic calendar, and the old Celtic tribes divided the year between a light half and a dark half. And Samhain, their ancient holiday, was a precursor to our Halloween. It was the beginning of the dark half.
Thousands of years ago, the Celts, one of Europe's early tribes, celebrated their Samhain harvest festival with bonfires on the night of October 31st to welcome their new year. For ancient peoples, harvest was a matter of life and death. If crops failed, people starved.
Wow. So they started off celebrating this, man, right? To bring in the new year. Well, when did the Most High say that the new year starts when everything is cold? Man, it's cold as hell outside right now, man, out here in Seattle. You know what I'm saying? These are things we got to realize, man. It's cold as polar bear toes out here, man. How is this the new year? Because that's what Esau does. Esau changes the times and the laws. Let's get the classic real quick. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7, verse 25, right? This is Daniel. We're going to continue with the movie. This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, right? That's what he does when he's trying to influence our people to get into this damn Halloween, right? And shall wear out the saints of the Most High and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of times, right? And the Lord says that the new year, man, is when life comes back on the earth, dealing with the springtime, when the flowers bloom, right? When the birds is chirping, right? When the sun is coming out, man, right? Not during this time where the leaves is falling off the trees, man. You know what I'm saying? It's cold and it's snowy, right? And rainy and nasty, right? You got people hydroplaning on the damn freeway, right? When is that the new year? But that's what Esau says, right? Let's continue with this and look at this, man. Right? You see that? Right? You see that? They really did stuff like this, y'all. And this is what y'all are celebrating. This is Halloween 101. Check this out.
It's a bit of a warning. It's going to get cold and dark. Gather together, come home, and don't send anybody out alone in the dark.
But But the Celts believed there was even more to Samhain.
What marked Samhain in this transition from light to dark was that time and space became permeable, flexible. And so that spirits, not only of the dead, but of the past or of other realities, could sort of wander into our reality, and humans could wander out and get lost in the other world as well.
You see that? Because that's what Edomites like to do. That's part of their nation, their nature, right? They want to summon up demons from the past and then demons of now, right? And then they want to dwell amongst them. Right, so they want to kick it with the damn witch that, you know what I'm saying, that was kicking it with Saul, man, right, on that nasty night, right? Madness. Let's continue.
Life and death was at its thinnest, and the living and the dead could commingle, and that's at the root of all the Halloween celebrations. Stories persist of people on Samhain night getting trapped in the other world, and of the dead appearing among the living. But the truth is, we know precious little about Samhain. We can only guess that their bonfires likely drew one familiar Halloween icon, a thing familiar, yet frightening to many: the bat. Before there was electricity, the only way you would have seen a bat would have been by the firelight. And in fact, you probably would have seen it around the fire because bats eat insects, and insects are attracted to the light. Bats come out at night, and nighttime was scary time. So if bats are the best and baddest part of your Halloween, you might just credit ancient people like the Celts. And they weren't the only ancient culture with creepy traditions. Others also looked to their dead.
Check this out.
Many cultures sort of set aside a day or a couple of days to ritually celebrate.
Whoa!
The dead.
You see that? Many different cultures started this. That's why the Lord said that there is nothing new under the sun. What culture is that? Right? Oh man, here we go. We got these damn nasty damn, you know what I'm saying? Man, I need a moderator, bro. We got to remove, block user, right? Put user in timeout. Oh, praise the Most High, man. Right here, these damn comments coming on, man. These nasty comments. All right, now, it says many cultures started this stuff, right? Which the Edomites just kind of picked up and took it to a whole nother level. Here you have Egyptian culture, right? So they was doing this type of stuff, man, during them Egyptian days, man, right? Hey, I'm led to believe Moses, man, before the Lord pulled him out of that madness, seen things like this, man, growing up. Right? Look at that. Doing sacrifices, man, trying to summon a demon. This looks like somebody who died of Egyptian, you know, these nasty Hamites, Canaanites, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. And they trying to summon him up. It really goes back to the Egyptian days, man. Right? Which is why the Lord said, get out of spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Flee Babylon the Great, man. All right, let's continue.
Recognize the dead. An interesting thing is that you
Edomites
find
did it.
about the same time period, especially in agricultural societies, because if you think about it, you know, spring things come up out of the ground, they're very green, you harvest in the middle of the summer, and towards the fall, and when it gets towards winter, things die.
Right.
How did these ancient traditions survive into our modern era? In Western culture, they were preserved by, of all people, Christians.
Bum, bum, bum.
In a bizarre twist of history, as Christianity spread, it adopted and reimagined pagan folk ways rather than try to stamp them out.
Wow.
This made it easier to convert pagans. A key pagan festival destined to get a Christian makeover was Lemuria, when celebrants placated the dead, culminating on May 13th.
Wow.
Of all the different days that they have in the Roman calendar to celebrate the dead, it was the spookiest. So on the Lemuria, what are called the
Look at that.
larvae, the ghosts of the departed would come up and haunt people.
To quell the dead, Pagan Romans poured milk onto their graves.
Pagan
or
Romans.
offered them little cakes.
Oh, hold on. Y'all missed that?
The church co-opted
Y'all
Lemuria.
missed that, right? Here, the Christian church, right, which is Christianity of today, right, adopted this pagan ritual and took it to a whole nother level, right? This is why this falls into one of the curses that we will be forced to worship idols made of wood and stone, right, representing that Christianity. That's why, you know what I'm saying, like, in Christianity, you know, with these nasty churches, right? What they're gonna do on the 31st, they might do it on the 29th or the 30th or something like that. Like, so like damn Halloween is Monday night. They probably gonna do it Sunday night, right? And they're gonna call it trunk or treat, right? They're gonna have everybody pull up their nasty cars, right? They're gonna decorate these cars and try to make it seem like some type of damn haunted house, but they're gonna have competitions, right? They're going to have a church service, right? Then after that church service, and everybody can show up to this church service dressed up, right? I'm speaking from experience, unfortunately. All praise to the Most High, I was not destroyed before I learned that I was an Israelite, right? Then after this church service, you go out and you line up in the cold. You go car to car, getting candy like you in the neighborhood, right? And then at the end of the junk, they announced the winner, whoever had their car decorated the best, man. Right? Trunk or treat, right? They'll sit there and be like, well, you know, Halloween's wicked, but we're gonna do our own version of Halloween. Well, the Lord said not to follow the ways of the heathen. The Lord said to choose none of his ways, man. The Lord said not to envy our oppressor. The Lord said not to summon up witches, man, and familiar spirits, man. But here Christianity took that thing and took it all to a whole nother level.
Co-opted Lemuria in 609 AD, turning May 13th into All Saints' Day, a day to honor the most holy of dead Christians.
Setting aside this day was an attempt to Christianize this very pagan festival, and yet at the same time, what it did was it kept a lot of the same themes going.
The Christianized version of Lemuria was such a success that church leaders made a decision that eventually gave rise to Halloween. They moved All Saints, or Hallows Day, to November 1st to drain the life out of pagan Samhain. Because Samhain fell on the night of October 31st, before All Hallows Day on November 1st, people started calling Samhain All Hallows Evening.
See that?
The evening before All Hallows Day. This shortened into All Hallows Even.
Right.
And finally, into Halloween. And then, to be safe, the church went one step further, adding a holiday to honor not just saints, but everyday Christians.
Wow.
November 2nd became All Souls Day, a church-sanctioned holiday to honor the departed.
Okay, and let's keep it 100,
This is
bro.
real important.
And let's just keep it 100, right? Because last I checked, the saints were those who honored the Most High by sacrifice, not these Edomites, right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 50, verse 5, man, right? Psalms chapter 50, verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And on last I checked, the Israelites were the one who did that, man, right? Then they sit there and try to follow it up with Hallows Day on November 1st to honor All Saints Day. And they say that, oh, we honoring, right, the lost souls of the people who died that were saints. But when you go back into the origins, right, of these pagan rituals, they were putting so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans inside of these statues and was burning us, man, and was killing us. Why? Because we're the saints. So they really not trying to honor us. They just show an example like, hey, this is what we do. We gonna party on this thing, man. Right? Wicked, man. Right? And right. This is what y'all want to do. Right? Y'all want to go to pumpkin patches too, man. Right? And take those pictures, man. Right? You don't never go try to get you a damn pumpkin, man, throughout the year. But around this time, you all of a sudden you want to take pictures by the pumpkins. Talking about it's just a nice family portrait. No, these are ways of the heathen, bro. We kind of got to get away from that thing, man. Real talk, right? And my wife, I appreciate that. That's a great comment, right? So these are things we got to realize, man. Right? All this stuff goes back to paganism, man. Right? Let's get the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, right? Verses 9 through 12, right? And get some more info, right? Hey, man, all the stuff's in here. It's in the Bible, man. It's juicy. But y'all want, you know what I'm saying? Y'all rather go tune in, you know what I'm saying, to go watch the Lakers, man. Right? And LeBron James and Patrick Beverly and Russell Westbrook, you know what I'm saying, shoot up bricks all day, man. Right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 9. Start at verse 9. And I'm going to start through 10. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. This is why we lost our land. This is why now we're subjected, you know what I'm saying, to our enemies. Because we want to sit there and do the abominations of these other nations, what the Lord said that we're not supposed to do, right? And let's see one of these abominations that we've done, man, right? There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. Hey, the Lord didn't leave none of this stuff out, man. All matters of wickedness on different terms, the Lord said we're not supposed to do. But he said, there shall not be found. But guess what? There was found plenty of us sitting there partaking into these ways, because there went out wicked men, right? In First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11, right, of Israel that wanted to make a covenant with the heathen, right? Because once they left the ways of the heathen, they experienced so much sorrow. And guess what does it say in verse 12, right? First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 12. So this device pleased them well, right? Because all you're doing is pleasing these Edomites and your enemies, man, right? When you want to sit there and follow the ways of the heathen, man. Thus said the Lord, right? We're not making these things up, man, right? Let me show something real quick, right? Check this out, man. Let me show y'all something real quick, right? And Salakia, that is going a little bit longer. I tried to keep this under an hour, man. You know, a lot of our Israelites, they ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? Y'all give us about 30 to 35 minutes, and then y'all out, man. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna try to make it do what it do, man. Right? Let's check this out. Let's get some facts. Right? Let's get some facts on this thing, man. Right? Let's get some facts. Right? Let's zoom in a little bit, right? Let me zoom in for some of y'all who got bad eyes, right? Here we have the Druid Celtic culture, right? Look at all these ads, man. Real. Oh, man, we don't want to learn more. All right, hold on, here we go. So check this out. Druid member of the learned class among the Celts, they acted as priests, teachers, and judges. So you have your modern day priests, teachers, and judges that go back to the ancient Celts of today, right? The earliest known records of the Druids come from the 3rd century BC. Their names may have come from a Celtic word meaning knower of the oak tree. Very little is known for certain about the Druids, who kept no records of their own, because they want to keep this stuff in secret, like these secret societies, right? According to Julius Caesar, who is the principal source of information about the Druids, there were 2 groups of men in Gaul that were held in honor. The Druids and the noblemen. Caesar related that the Druids took charge of public and private sacrifices, right? And many young men went to them for instruction, right? So you had a lot of people, right, who governed Rome went to these Druids for instruction. Just like our mighty prophets, Slakia, just like our mighty kings would have to go to the prophets like Samuel, Nehemiah, Jeremiah, right, to get the information from the Most High God. Here you have Edomites, right, these vessels of dishonor that dishonor people, right, for instruction, which is why this entire land has been defiled with blood, right? Because when you're getting instruction from druids who are telling you to sacrifice humans, right, and summon up wicked spirits, we should not be surprised when we look around here in Babylon the Great while all we see is wickedness, man. Real talk. They judged all public and private quarrels and decreed penalties. If anyone disobeyed their decree, he was barred from sacrifice, which was considered the gravest of punishments, right? One druid was made the chief upon his death. Another was appointed. So if you didn't get down, right, and they gave you a choice, right? You either gonna get down or you gonna lay down, right? And when you lay down, you're gonna stay the heck down. Well, the Lord told us about that in Maccabees, right? Let's go to 2nd Maccabees, right? The classic, chapter 6, right? Let's go to 2nd Maccabees, chapter 6, right? Let's start at verse 6, right? Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts or to profess himself at all to be a Jew, right? Let's jump down to verse 9. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death. Then might a man have seen the present misery. You see that? So all this stuff is in the scriptures, man. Right? So if you didn't get down with their sacrifices, man, then they will sacrifice you. And it said that the punishments, right, were considered the gravest of punishments. Being put in a wood statue, man, right, looking like somebody drew a hangman on the damn chalkboard, man, having a bunch of Edomites surrounding the circle with fire on their sticks and then light you up alive, that's a grave death, man. Let's keep it 100. One druid was made the chief upon his death. Another was appointed. If, however, several were equal in merit, the druids voted. Although they sometimes resorted to armed violence, once a year the druids assembled at a sacred place in territory of the Carnutes, which was believed to be the century of all Gaul, right? So, hey, we can get this information on the internet, bro, right? These are things we got to realize, man, right? Let's see what else they got for us, man. This is straight. See that? See that? They showing you the gravest of deaths, man, right? This is what they're showing you because this is naturally a part of their message. This is naturally a part of the spirit. And they love doing things like this, right? These are things we got to realize, man. See, that Roman writers also stated that the Druids offered human sacrifices for those gravely sick or in battle, right? Which is what I was talking about earlier. Huge wickerwork images were filled with living men and then burned. So dive in this thing. Although they preferred to sacrifice criminals, they would choose innocent victims if necessary. See, they preferred to sacrifice criminals. We read in Maccabees, right, that if you did not conform yourself to the manners of the Gentiles, you would be considered a what? A criminal. To the punishment was they considered us returning to our heritage and nationality as criminals. They considered damn Kanye West as a criminal. This, bro, nothing is new under the sun. And these are things we got to realize, man, right? They give us these examples, but yet our people are blind. Yet our people want to sit there and continue to follow the ways of our oppressors, right? These are things we have to realize, man, right? Right, and this is a great point, right? There's no way that Heavenly Father, Yahweh, created the earth to celebrate sin. But yet our people wanted to sit there and take into the ways, right, in the midst of the garden when you're dealing with Genesis chapter 1, right? And I'm with you, Humberto Navarro, Israel, Issachar, right? I'm with you on that one. What did he say? He said, damn deceivers. He said, hey, He said, what else he say? He said this. He said Esau is a damn devil, right? He's the devil the Bible speaks of. And y'all want to follow his wicked ways, man. Right? So these are things that we got to realize, man. Right? Let's go to the book. I'm going to show you another clip real quick. Let's go to the book of Galatians, right? Chapter 5, right? Because when you want to sit there and you're preparing for Halloween, you just marking yourself on the Most High's hit list, man. Right? Let's see what falls under his hit list. This is Galatians chapter 5. Let's start at verse 19. Let's read all the way to 21. Right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. If you are walking in the spirit, man, right, then you're not gonna fulfill that flesh. It's your flesh that's telling you, right? Hey, October 31st, man, I knew you wanted to be a football player, but you just wasn't big enough. You wasn't good enough. Well, guess what? This is the day that you can put on some pads and a helmet and walk around and get rewarded for it, right? Oh, you always wanted to be a doctor. This is the moment that you can put on that damn stethoscope, man, right? And put on that white robe and walk around, you know what I'm saying, and get rewarded for it. Hey, you just fulfilling that flesh, right? Verse 17, for the flesh lusted against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law, right? Because a lot of our people, they get caught up. I'm sharing my screen real quick. They get caught up in the flesh, right? And when they get caught up in the flesh, like a lot of our people, you know, they'll sit there and, you know, want to be in the industry. Hey, you got a lot of people in the industry. You got a lot of these wicked governors that really partake in these wicked ritual, pagan rituals that was started, you know what I'm saying, all the way back from the Egyptian days, right? Like the Bohemian Grove, right? Let me show you something real quick. Let me show you something, right? Let's deal with it. Right? Let's go to the cover boy of this junk, man. You see that? Right? Bohemian Grove. Right? And this stuff may be Photoshop. But best believe, bro, if y'all know anything about the Bohemian Grove, they get together every single year, man, and it's part of the secret societies, mostly Edomites. Right? And they go to these nasty woods, right? They go to these nasty woods and they partake in the same rituals, right, that we were just reading and learning about, as you see right here, the Bohemian Grove satanic rituals, right? And to be a man of renown here in Babylon the Great, on anywhere on the four corners of the earth, right, to be paid, to be worshiped, to be glorified, you have to partake in these rituals, right? The Bohemian Grove, human sacrifices. They sacrifice children, babies, right? Drinking babies' blood, eating their flesh, right? And then a lot of these wicked governors, man, partake in this stuff, man, right? That's why you've seen a lot of these signs, man, right, being thrown up. They throw this stuff right in your face, man, right? Matter of fact, let's just click on, right, Bohemian Grove, right? Let's just click on Bohemian Grove. Right, let me not put Obama in this thing, man. I don't know how that popped up, but let's just type Salakia. And I'm being slow, man. Let's just type Bohemian Grove. Let's see what it gives us. All right, let's deal with it. Let me zoom out a little bit, man, so we can all see. Let's check this thing out, man. We're gonna expose this thing, man. Right? You see that? Bohemian Grove is a restricted, right? This thing is restricted, man. Right? Like Area 51, right? 2,700 acre campground, right? A lot of y'all will sit there and sign your souls just to get a few acres. Hey, last I checked, the so-called blacks, especially the so-called blacks, Hispanics and Native Americans, we was promised 40 acres and a mule. Well, we ain't got a damn acre, right? It's the Bohemian Avenue in Monterey, Cali, right? And I'm from Cali. Hey, it's wicked, bro. Belonging to a private San Francisco, right? It's a lot of sodomy behavior in San Francisco, especially in Mission Street. Base gentlemen's club known as the Bohemian Club, right? And this is where you're going to see a lot of wicked, you know what I'm saying, right? Edomites that come to this place, man. Look at this right here. I'm kind of zooming in right here. I think that's Nixon right there, man. Right? That looked like Nixon, bro. Let's check this out. Look at that right there. Kind of look like Richard Nixon, man. Right? Let's believe these are the Edomites that you don't see every day. These are Edomites that you're not just going to be that's not going to be living next door to you, right? Because they try to keep their whole life a secret because their whole agenda is to deceive the nations, right? Look at that. You see that? Secret societies, right? That Bohemian Grove ritual, that Bohemian Grove cult, the owl, Bohemian Grove footage. Hey, these things are for our learning. And the Lord is trying to show you that in these last days, right? And they brought that. That's a great point, right? And we just seen that. They worship underneath that huge owl, right? So let's get back into these abominations, and I'm going to show this other clip, right? For some of you, if you're not an 80s baby, you may not know this clip, right? This is Galatians chapter 5, right? Let's pick up from verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, right? All the works of the flesh are being manifested right now. Which are these? Adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, like variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murderers, drunkenness, revilings, and such like of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in past time, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. We got over 17 abominations that the Most High has let us know about. And one of those abominations is witchcraft. So while you want to sit there and transgress the law for one day, you just thinking it's one day, you fall onto the Most High's hit list. You're signing yourself up on that hit list of abominations to be destroyed because you want to take your children and get some of that nasty candy, man. You want to take your children and you know what I pray? Right? I'm going to pray in my secret place that any of you Israelites, you know what I'm saying? And also all these wicked heathens that want to celebrate this wicked day going trick-or-treating, man. I hope that every single candy you eat gives you damn cavities, man, in your damn teeth, man. So the next year, you're going to be smiling, right, with no damn teeth, right? Looking like some of these cracked out Edomites, man, who be on fentanyl and damn, you know what I'm saying, and heroin, right? That's what us Israelites want, right? Thus said the Lord. Now, let's check out this clip, right? Now, y'all might be familiar with like Halloween, the Halloween series, dealing with damn Michael Myers, right? Right? But there's one Halloween that didn't have Michael Myers in it, right? That's dealing with Halloween 3. This movie came out in 1982, right? Even all the way back in 1982, right? They were kind of showing you the history of the Druids, their practices, man, right? So in this clip, you're going to see, right, is a scene from Halloween 3, which is called The Season of the Witch. You see that? And this movie was about damn Shamrock, right? Some little town called Shamrock out in, I want to say like Ireland somewhere, or like dealing with, so like you're dealing with the Irish. And then they had this nasty song, right? Talking about like, you know, they were showing this commercial, right? These wicked Edomites created this commercial and sold these masks all over the world. And these children, when it came to Halloween and they decided to play this commercial, these children would put on these masks watch this commercial, listen to this wicked song like 13 days till Halloween, Halloween type stuff, right? And then as they will watch this stuff, right, with the mask on, right, then all of a sudden their faces will get eaten up, you know what I'm saying, while they're wearing these wicked masks, right? So I pray that, you know what I'm saying, that we hoping that if y'all want to partake in this, that this is going to happen to you, man. And it kind of shows you, right, that it kind of goes back, you know what I'm saying, to literally children's sacrifice, man. Check this out. Test room A.
You don't like this place. It gives me the creeps. I have to go to the bathroom.
So there's a family that they watching for a test.
Relax a minute, will you?
They can't get out that room.
Everything will be fine. Hey, just what's my opinion about some television commercials or something? You know, I still can't figure out why they won't take my orders for next year. You know how I like to work ahead.
Those are the wicked
They're just
Edomites.
not interested at all.
Maybe they're not going to have Halloween next year.
All right, roll it.
Roll it. Roll the commercial. Here we go. Don't. See that?
It's time. Time for the new
This is just the same old stuff.
It's come. All you lucky kids with silver shamrock masks, gather round your TV set. Put on your masks.
Put on your mask.
Honey, don't get too close. You'll ruin your eyes.
He's gonna ruin more than his eyes, Edomite.
Watch the magic pumpkin. Watch.
I think this whole thing is a big joke.
Oh, I gotta stop that right there. See, that's the problem with a lot of you. There's a lot of that y'all who are unlearned, right? That don't do your research. I'm gonna have my kids celebrate Halloween because I think all this is just a big joke anyway. It's just funny to have them dress up and walk around and knock on doors and say trick or treat, right? Look, that's how a lot of y'all think. Y'all think like this Edomite lady, right? That says, I just think that all this is a big joke. It ain't gonna be no big joke when the Most High comes back and destroys you.
I think this whole thing is a big joke. I mean, look at that.
Uh-oh. What happened to little Timmy? What's wrong with little Brock? All praises. Got cockroaches on it. Look, she just fell out. Look, check it out. She fell out. Look at that. Serpents coming out, poisonous snakes, roaches, crickets, man. Rattlesnakes. Look, he trying to get out. Man, you too big and fat. You ain't going nowhere. Look at him. Look at him. Pow. See that? Got bit by a rattlesnake. Pow. You know he gonna fall out in 2 seconds. He gonna fill out. Food for all the crickets, roaches, and snakes on the ground. 3 humans. You see that? You can't make this stuff up, right? They kind of show you, man, right? That's really their whole goal when you're dealing with this wicked day. Because best believe children are still being sacrificed, right? The movie that is, right? That is Halloween 3, right? Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. The only Halloween movie that doesn't have Michael Myers. It came out in 1982, right? And this is a great point. Only Amalek could come up with that type of stuff. Their true selves in the open, right? That's a great point, Sidney Thurston, right? And Shalom, right? They're showing you their real hair. This is what they like. This is what they thrive off of. This is why they sit there and glamorize this stuff. This is why they sit there and like you're gonna go to the grocery stores, right? And it's gonna be a famine, right? There's gonna be certain shelves empty, but I tell you what shelves ain't gonna be empty is them candy shelves, man. The snack aisle. You're gonna have mad candy around this time, right? Say they didn't hit that floor hard enough. I agree with you, right? And we brought that out, right? I agree with you. They did not hit that floor hard enough, man. They should have fell face down, right? They should have all went out like little Timmy, like little Brock, right? See, these are things we got to realize, man. Wickedness at its all-time high, right? And you saw what kind of mask he had on, right? That damn nasty jack-o'-lantern, right? Now, I want to bring this out real quick, right? And then we're going to wrap this up, right? I'm going to show you a little clip dealing with this damn jack-o'-lantern, man, right? Because these are things we got to realize too, right? We living in the last days. So this stuff has to be exposed. Thus said the Lord, right? Let's deal with it, man, right? You know, you don't want to listen to, y'all want to listen to your own people. So listen to the Edomite. Because y'all want to sit there and follow the heathen so much. So listen to a heathen.
For turnips. The story of Stingy Jack is somewhat ironic given the way that jack-o'-lanterns are used as part of Halloween tradition today. Here's this symbol of a man who is so stingy that he wouldn't entertain travelers being used as a welcome sign for children who are seeking free candy. But while that is the most common story told to explain the tradition of the jack-o'-lantern, the story is somewhat more complex than that. For example, it isn't clear when the carving of turnips actually began. Some only date the idea back to the 19th century.
Look at that.
The
Look at that.
tradition in Ireland is hardly older than the one in America.
You see that?
However, it may be much older.
That looked like the
2014
Texas
edition of
Chainsaw
National
Massacre
Geographic
mask.
quotes Nathan Mannion, senior curator for the Irish Immigration Museum in Dublin, that carving round fruits and vegetables to depict a human face goes back thousands of years. It may even have pre-Christian origins that evolved from the custom of head veneration, or potentially even represented war trophies taken from.
And guess what? It does go back. It goes back plenty of years, man. Right? I can show you. Let's go to the book of. Let's go to First Chronicle, man. That's what I want. Let's go to the book of First Chronicles, man. All right, let's go to First Chronicles chapter 10. All right, that's what I want. First Chronicles chapter 10, verse 13. All right, let's get the book of First Chronicles chapter 10, verse 13, because all this stuff was written for our learning, y'all. All this was written for our learning, right? Kings, Chronicles. First Chronicles chapter 10. Bear with me, right? Let's start at verse. Matter of fact, that's not what I want. Salakia, right? Let me get what I want. I want to say it's in First Kings, right? Dealing with one of our wicked kings, man, right? Because we had some wicked kings, y'all, right? That's what I want. All right, let's go to Second Chronicles, right? Chapter 33, verse 6. All right, let's go to the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 33. I'm going to start at verse 1 to get the whole context, right? Let's see one of our wicked kings, Manasseh, which will be known as the so-called Cubans, right? This is Second Chronicles chapter 33, verse 1. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 55 years in Jerusalem. See, they try to get you young, right? And let's see what he did. But did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, like unto the abominations of the heathen, whom the Lord had cast out before the children of Israel. For he built again the high places which Hezekiah his father had broken down. And he reared up altars for who? Baalim. And made what? Groves. Right? Which is what they do at the Bohemian Grove. Right? And made groves and did what? And worshipped all the host of the heaven and served them. Also, he built altars in the house of the Lord, whereof the Lord had said, in Jerusalem shall my name be forever. So he built up, you know what I'm saying, like damn statues and things of that nature that were wicked, man, in the house of the Lord, man. How wicked is that? Right? Verse 6, and he caused his children to pass through the fire in the valley of the son of Hinnom. Also, he observed times, right? and used enchantments and used witchcraft and dealt with the familiar spirit and with wizards, he wrought much evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. And check this out, though. Let's see what else he did in these temples, man. And he set a carved image. Carved image. Right? Like a lot of y'all want to sit there and carve these damn pumpkins. Right? Like that's the traditions of these Edomites. The tradition. Hey, man, this is all the way back in the Bible days, man. And he set a carved image. The idol. Because that's all that is. It's an idol. Right? Which he had made in the house of Yahweh. And which Yahweh has said to David and to Solomon his son, in this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen before all the tribes of Israel, will I put my name forever. Right? So the Lord wants his name to be exalted. Not damn jack-o'-lanterns, man. Right? So when you want to put that, carve that nasty jack-o'-lantern, right, all you're doing, the term that really it goes back to trying to shoo away the wicked spirits on that night. So that you can sit there. So basically the wicked spirits will see this jack-o'-lantern and they don't want to just, kind of dwell amongst you, but not kill you, not do things to you. Because that's all these wicked people want to do, is they want to sit there and be wicked, man. And this was going on in the Bible days dealing with King Manasseh, man, right? A northern kingdom. That's why all the northern, there was not one righteous northern kingdom king, right? Which is why the northern kingdom ended up going into slavery on ships first, right? Through King Salmanasar, king of Assyria. When you read in 2nd Esdras 13:40 on down. So all this is written for our learning, man. These are things that we have to realize, man. Thus said the Lord. And they're not going to talk about this in Christianity church. Why? Because they too busy doing trunk or treat. They too busy trying to set y'all up for the okie doke. And y'all going to end up being set up like Saul was set up. Let's go to 1 Chronicles now, right? Now I'm going to go there. Let's go to 1 Chronicles, right? Chapter 10, verse 13. Just a few more, and I'm going to wrap this up, man. Appreciate y'all patience, man. Right? Hope this is edifying for y'all. This is 1 Chronicles chapter 10. Let's start at verse 13. So Saul died for his transgression, which he committed against the Lord, even against the word of the Lord, which he kept not, and also for asking counsel of one that had a familiar spirit to inquire of it. Because here you had Saul that was trying to go sit there and go holler at a damn witch with that long, nasty nose and that big damn pimple on the side of it, man. That was like a zit, right? Trying to summon up the spirit, man, of the prophet Samuel. Because the Most High Spirit fled away from Saul when he wanted to sit there and not destroy all the Amalekites, man, right? These are things we got to realize, man. So verse 14, and inquired not of the Lord. Therefore, what did the Lord do? Therefore, he slew him and turned the kingdom unto David, the son of Jesse. Right? So these are things we got to realize. You know that you are an Israelite in this truth, and you thinking about just doing Halloween, right? And the Lord is going to remove that candlestick and go give it to somebody else, and you're going to end up being destroyed, man. Real talk. Let's just keep it plain. Let's put it plain upon tables, man. This is wicked. Do not partake in Halloween. Why? Because the Most High God hates Halloween, and it is our job as Israelites to stand up against workers of iniquity and show you the true origins of Halloween. We're going to end it with this. Let's go to Psalms chapter 94, verse 16, the classic, man. Right? This is the book of Psalms, right? Chapter 94, verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Hey, the Lord is asking that question in these last days. Are you going to be that Israelite that's going to stand up against this wicked day that's approaching? Right? Are you going to open that door? Huh? When they come and knock? Are you going to open that door? Right? Some of you Israelites going to try to be nice and open the door and be like, look, guys, like, I'm sorry, I have no candy. Well, maybe next year. No. How about turn off your little light on the doorstep, right? How about put a sign, right? Put a sign on the just like our ancient our forefathers, right? Put the lamb's blood on our doorsteps, right? And put a little sign that says, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this house is the house of the Most High. We are Israelites, and we don't do nothing that these Edomites do. Step away from this house or get destroyed. Put that on there, right? I bet you ain't nobody gonna come knocking at your door, right? You're gonna open that door, or you're gonna sit there and say, sorry, I have no candy. You're gonna open the door and be like, we don't celebrate Halloween. You don't even need to do all that. Put a sign on there that says we don't even fool with this junk. Or don't answer the door at all. Real talk. Let them stand out there in the cold, man. Right? And steady knocking, man. Right? Who's going to stand up? Who's going to rise against these evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? And that's what we got to do in these last days. We got to stand up against workers of iniquity. Thus saith the Lord, man. Right? And there's many ways of doing that. And partaking in Halloween is not standing up against workers of iniquity. So to sum all this stuff up, man, right? Understand that Halloween is the witches' Shabbat, right? The origins of it goes back to the ancient Druids, right? Who did rituals like human sacrifices, pumpkins, right? That was filled, right, with human fat that they would get from stuffing these humans in these statues and burning them, right? It was really, you know what I'm saying, like it was major between 100 BC to like 250 AD, right? And the influence goes back to the Groves belief system, which we seen Groves was dealing with the Bible, man, right? It really took off between the Ireland, Germany, and Iceland, right? Which really were the ancient Celts dwelt at, right? Samhain is a Gaelic word pronounced Samhain, right? Celebrated from October 31st to November 1st to welcome in evil spirits, right? In order to have more interaction with denizens of the other world, which are demons, right? And it was mandatory to celebrate this thing, right? Where the community was required to show themselves to local kings of chieftains, and a failure to participate would result in punishment from the gods in death or illness. And these gods are gods on the left-hand side, because the Lord said that we are gods, right? And you will have these Edomites, man, right? That would destroy you and will kill you. And these were gruesome deaths, man, right? The origins of trick-or-treating is also an ancient Irish-Scottish practice, right? That leads up to the Samhain, right? Mummying was putting on costumes, because that's all you're doing is acting like a mummy, right? Going door to door, singing songs to the dead as they were rewarded with cakes, which is why that they give you candies, right? These are things we got to understand. So there's many different ways of human sacrifices, man, right? Packing humans in that giant nasty statue, right? Eating their firstborn children, which are done still to this day at these Bohemian groves. Collecting the blood of sacrificial animals and drinking it, right? Filling pumpkins up and turnips with fat from previous sacrifices and lighting them up. So if that's what y'all want, that's what y'all enjoy. Hey, stay the hell away from me, man. Real talk. Stay away from me and my family, and stay away from my brothers, man, and my sisters, man, right? And the children who really want to keep these laws, statutes, commandments at the best of their ability. So with that, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashim Mashiach Kamalak Yahweh Shai. I hope you guys were edified. I want to say shalom to everybody, man, who chimed in, right? Shalom against Salah Judah, Love Pius, right? Makala Yasharala, right? Tribe of Levi, Ancients New, Why Don't We? Carlos Dexter, Yafai, Israel, right? Shalom to Thapala, Yehuda, Yah Yisrael, Slim D, Shalom to Naf Mendez, Israel, Shalom from Egypt to Israel, Shalom on Hannah Coleman, Mina, Israel, Shalom again, right? Shalom to Yapa Princess, Shalom to D Judah, Davin Barksdale, Shalom to Jeremiah, Shalom to who else we got up on here? Shalom to Herberto Navarro, Israel Issachar, right? Shalom to Yashar Laquad Woods, Yahweh, man. D Judah, if I didn't say that already, right? Shalom from Take Me Among the Heathen. I still love that name. My brother Sidney Thurston, Shalom, right? Shalom Antonio Bray Boy, Lee Draper, right? Enduring Zealot, right? And Yafa Israel, man. And shalom to everybody else, man. Hey, the true origins have been exposed. The Most High hates Halloween, so you should too as well, right? And I'm gonna end this with a huge Kwam Yasharallah, Kwam Yasharallah, Kwam Yasharallah.